Hey everybody, it's Ruder bringing you another League of Legends commentary, and this time it's going to be on the brand new champion Jarvan. He's only a day old, but a ton of fun to play, so go out and pick him up. I'll be honest, the entire time I played him thus far, I felt as though I was dropping lawn darts on my opponent's skulls, but that's okay. Everyone needs to relive their childhood now and then. Now please do keep in mind that while watching this video I've only played him a few times, so my rune choices, my masteries, and even my item development are not set in stone for this character. I don't know what the appropriate build is going to be for him. All we really have to go off of is what Freak suggested, and I think he was spot on a few things, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I have used and what I'm going to continue using for now, and I might adapt that. I really don't see him as a full-on tank. I just see him almost as an anti-carry disruptor in these team fights, and we'll get into that in just a second. Now personally, for this video, I had red armor pin, yellow dodge, blue ability cooldown per levels, and my flat quint health runes. This helps out a little bit on the early game, but does lend itself into better armor pin for late game. For my masteries, I was actually 0-21-9, a little bit more defensive tanky tree. I really have no false hope that this character is going to be able to jump in and jump out of team fights as often as he'd really like. He's a fantastic initiator, and that's what I've been using him to do. I'll show you some team fights here, and you're going to see what I was doing with him. You may want to mimic that. You may not. I don't know. This is all new, and only time will tell what's actually going to be the most successful builds. Now, in all the games I've played with Jarvan thus far, I have played a double lane in the bottom. He does great with other stuns and disables. As you see in this game, I was actually playing with the Taric. He's got fantastic laning abilities from, the offensive poke to the defensive shield, and even a quick escape if need be if he's getting ganked. I have heard really good things about Jarvan in the jungle, but he's such a strong presence in the lane. It's almost like early Pantheon was. It's kind of like, why would you even want to take him out of that position? Why would you want to take him out of such a role? Maybe if you're playing ranked and you actually need that jungler in order to make your team composition roll a little better, I could understand, but he's so good in the lane. He's got such a strong presence with those disables and the escapes, so give that a shot. Don't discredit, doing a dual lane. You can get some pretty easy last hits. In this game in particular, though, we did not have a jungler, so after I went ahead and had my 1400 gold, I picked up my boots and my Madrid Razors, and I took over the role. I didn't want to give the other team a free jungle the entire time, but, easy to start out in the lane, no problem. As far as how you should be treating Jarvan in the team fights, like I said, he's a pretty good anti-carry. What he can really do is get to one individual, shut him down between knockups, and actually his ultimate, which locks them in place. And this is great for chasing down the runners. And here we see a team fight. There's actually a Malphite, a Jarvan, and a Nunu. I go ahead and start on the Jarvan. He was my biggest fear at this point, the only one that could actually do damage. We had a double ult on top of Nunu. They blow the ult, Jarvan flashes out, and I get exhausted. I exhaust Malphite. I spear through both of them. He comes back in, tries to ult and flash away, but we had enough poison from Teemo. I throw my lawn dart in the air trying to catch that other Jarvan. Don't actually get him. Try to poke, just can't reach him, not a big deal. As I move back down towards the river, I see that Annie's exhausted and being chased by MF. MF misses her ult here. She probably would have been okay, but I went ahead and threw down my lawn dart, launched myself towards it, and helped interrupt her casting of that. So he does a really good job of helping out. He's got good disables. He can drop a lot of armor pin for a lot of targets in a line. He also does pretty good damage. So here we go. I will go ahead and ult Nunu. I throw up my shield to block any damage coming in, also dropping the slow. We get an exhaust on him plus the ignite, and I do get the kill there. So we've got 4 bottom. We're going to go ahead and push this lane. It's only Mr. Tree. I'm not too afraid of him. I go ahead and drop my flag, trying to help out everyone's attack speed, and we finish off the tower. We do get a little greedy, and when you're playing this character, you need to keep in mind that it's 120 mana to do your combo of dropping the flag and pulling yourself to it. As you see there, I only had 111 when I dropped the flag, so I was not able to reach the tree and actually get that. But that's okay. It's learning. It's one of those deals. This is my second game ever with him. I will get that pattern down, and that actually brings me back to my mana choices. I didn't take mana on my rune pages, and I might need to. So here's a good initiation on Malphite. I actually pull myself to him, knock up, use the slow. The rest of my team comes in. It's a free kill. It's really simple. He's great at initiating, but you do need to keep in mind 120 mana to pull that combo off. So we have all 4 top here again, and we start pushing for the tower. I go ahead and lead him with the pole. I pull myself to him, knock him up, and I've got my shield on for the slow. My ult is coming, but I did have blue buff. I got just enough mana. I go ahead and ult him. Taric runs up, drops the stun. Akali jumps in, and he ends up flashing out here, I do believe. Yep, he flashed out. I drop the pole again, but Nunu blocks us, chasing him. It's alright. He's pretty low on health. Ooh, he's so close, and I end up getting a spear. Oh, he puts him at 39 health. That's right. At this point, we'll go ahead and just take the tower. We're not too concerned about it. We go ahead and go try to cut off the creep wave, and it looks like we cut off Nunu. I place the ward to see if anyone's coming. We get one more spike on him, and I throw the spear and get him in the head with a lawn dart. So, He's a fun melee champion because he has those long-range pokes, but you need to keep in mind that you don't need to be tower diving too heavily. The deaths in this game were actually all because I was tower diving. I was just doing really dumb plays. So here we go, there Jarvan initiates on our Teemo. I go ahead and jump on him with my ultimate. I drop down my flag, I pull through, someone exhausted him, we actually finish off the Jarvan. Nunu lines up for his ult, there it is. And I try to get my way out to Misfortune. I can't actually get to her. Once I do, I shut her down. I turn to Nunu, who's working on Annie. I try to drop my flag and slide through and pull him up, but I only get Moakai. So at this point it's a 2v3 with me and Tarek. I thought we were steady and we were doing okay, but it was time for us to go ahead and back out. We try to make our way back towards the tower. Tarek gets exhausted. We try to kite towards the Teemo Mushroom. The Teemo Mushroom poison's ticking, and Nunu gets hit by the tower twice. I go and try to kill him off, and he actually dies to the Teemo Mushroom. I exhaust Malphite as he makes his way towards the tower, and he's really low with the tower hits. He goes ahead and ults towards Tarek, but Tarek got both those kills. Congratulations. And that just shows that this character is cool and pretty sturdy and can do the appropriate, shield yourself, knock up, disables when necessary. And I think, the Wriggles Lantern suggestion by Freak was just spot on. So here I go ahead and look like I'm leaving the scenario. Misfortune's chasing our Teemo. I drop the flag, slide on through. She gets hit by the mushroom. Go ahead and finish her off. There Jarvan starts working on our Tarek. He's ignited. I'm trying to get him, and I'm just short mana again. This is, watching this film over and over and over, I'm seeing that I really was short mana if I didn't have the blue buff. So I would really highly recommend trying out some MP5 runes if you've got them laying around. If you don't have them, I wouldn't go out and buy them. I do think dodge is really strong. So here in this team fight, everything goes down. We have the double ults, plus the Misfortune. I go ahead and try to finish off Malphite here with the spear. I get a couple in with the armor pin, trying to finish off Jarvan. The smart play here would have been to finish off Jarvan, then move to Misfortune and stay alive with my lifesteal. But instead, because I couldn't get to her, I just stayed on Moakai. And looking back again, never leave a carry open. I don't care how confident you are. I did the wrong thing there, and as an anti-carry, you do best when you're shutting down someone squishy. So here I find their Jarvan. I try to do the flag plant and pull through. I drop the slow. I drop my ult. He goes ahead and drops his lawn dart somewhere else and jerks himself to it. I'm kind of afraid, but Wriggles Lantern, I do have this ward. I go ahead and drop it in the bush. I see what we're looking at. I've got a red buff, so I'm feeling strong. I finish off Jarvan as best I can, I think. No, clusterfuck of AoE. No, Jarvan gets away. So he throws his lawn dart. I start kiting to the right. I'm looking to pull back through and save Tarek if I can. I throw the lawn dart, pull through, kill Malphite, start working on MF. 4 of us converge on her. She didn't see that coming. So we turned a bad situation into a good one. They had tons of AoE laid down, and we go ahead and counter. So I do pick up a Sunfire and a Last Whisper on this character. I feel that his presence is great. He doesn't cleave per se, but due to his passive, he has a really good job of taking large chunks of health off of multiple people in a team fight. So I went to go check their red. I found Misfortune. I take her down. I pick up the red buff. I lead with a lawn dart, pull through, actually get the kill on Moakai. No, I was robbed by Teemo. Their Jarvan tries to pull away. I spear through 2 of them. We have the Nunu ult. We're going to eat the whole thing. Not a big deal. I go ahead and flag again. And one more spear on Malphite. All these M names. At this point, Tibbers is going to actually tank the turret. We see that we've got 4 there. We need to go ahead and push for the inhibitor if we can. So as you see, we're working on this inhibitor, but I do drop the flag every single time, even if it's just to share the attack speed with casters. Teemo does get some benefit from it, but really, it's why not share the buff if you've got it. And I really feel he is somewhat of a support player because of that. I could only imagine him and Sivir just wrecking towers with teleport. I'll be 100% honest. So here we go. I am in the middle, and I am working on Malphite here. I go ahead and break his Banshees with my spear. I start working on him. I drop my pike to try to pull myself to him. He flashes away. I pull myself out of Nunu ult, and then I ult on top of him. So even though he was flashed and ghosted, he would have gotten away from many other anti-carries. But as you see, Jarvan was able to actually pull himself out of the ult. I exhaust Misfortune as soon as he comes up here. I'm banging on her. I take her out. I go ahead and spear. I pull myself to it to get back into the team fight. They are chasing down our Teemo at this point. I'm working on Moakai. Teemo keeps shooting. I spear through both of them. And no. Actually, I did not get the kill on Nunu. The poison actually did from Teemo. We decided to go ahead and take out Baron. Pull myself through. Keep working on him. And my build's progressed. I picked up the Banshee's Veil because it is a more defensive item that can help me when I'm initiating. He is sturdy when he pulls himself in there, especially when you drop your W, not only to slow everyone around you, but to also give yourself that shield. But that just helps. It's one of those deals where at this point in your build, you have to adapt to what you're seeing and what you're facing. So MF has a Guardian's Angel here. I realize she's going to live. I go ahead and ult on her. We go ahead and finish her off. There's a good series of AoE going on. I keep spearing through multiple targets here. I finish off their Jarvan. Working on Moakai. Moakai is going down pretty quickly. And I realize that MF's back up. I spear. I pull back through her. I knock down her. I take out the Malphite, and Moakai is getting away. I actually got a quadra kill there. Couldn't get to Moakai. Tarek stuns for me. I go ahead and drop my flag. I try to get to him. I slow. He drops his ult, which protects him from damage, and I end up taking the fountain. So even though it became a 4v5 about mid-game with Akali leaving, we were actually able to take them out pretty quickly. You know, a lot of times it comes down to doing the right thing in team fights and knowing your role. Special thanks out to Killmans. I was actually just checking out the new character. I was going to hop on, see if I even had enough points to buy him, and he instantly sent me a message asking if I'd like to play with him. So yeah, if I hadn't played with you, I probably wouldn't be putting this video out. There have been some questions of whether I'd like to play with subscribers or not, and hell yeah, absolutely. Like, I would love to play with subscribers. I always have. The problem is that I've got a lot of people that subscribe, and I do have some people I've played with for quite some time that always want my attention. So if I ignore you on that game, I promise you it's not intentional. Just keep asking. I'd love to play with you guys. You know, I hope you guys enjoyed this peek at Jarvan. Maybe this will help make your decision on whether you want to purchase him or not. He's a lot of fun. I don't think he's overpowered. I think he can steamroll, you know, some opponents, but I don't think he's in a bad position. So hopefully they don't overnerf him too quickly. As always, rate, comment, and subscribe, and thank you very much for watching, guys.